Hey, what's going on? You know who it is, you know what it is. All right, you guys, peep gang, it's your boy Town Biz. All right, man, check this out. So, Errol Spence tweeted in regards to, boxing fans and aficionados watching ex-football players, rappers, whatever the case may be, participate in professional boxing. There was an event yesterday that went on, and basically, you saw Adrian Peterson get knocked out. And, Errol Spence tweeted, like, y'all watching this BS? And he basically was calling out, I guess, the football players, athletes converting to boxing, or rappers converting to boxing, and calling the fans out for watching this stuff. Well, my reply to this, and like I said, I'm not going to disrespect Errol Spence. I'm not going to call Errol Spence out his name. But I'm going to say this much. You guys included Errol Spence and along with a lot of other boxers, promoters, TV networks, and et cetera, you need to look in the mirror and look at yourself and ask, how did this happen? Well, I can tell you how it happened. Y'all are the reason it happened, because all we get is excuse after excuse on why we can't get certain fights made. You got one guy talking about he don't want to fight other Mexicans. You got other guys hollering about networks, and you got other dudes saying, well, do you make as much? I mean, just every type of bullshit you can think of. And at the end of the day, the fans, we're tired of it. If you gave us the fights that we wanted to see, that we've been asking for, that we've been clamoring for, then maybe you wouldn't have this problem. But you guys love to smell up your own shit so much to where you don't want to listen to the fans. You don't want to listen to the fans. You don't want to listen to anybody. The people who are your backbone, who are your supporters. All we get is lip service and excuses. So we're tired of hearing it. So to Errol Spence, if you're wondering why we're watching this kind of stuff, it's because of you guys. Here you are in mid-September, and we still are not any closer to getting the announcement when in fact you're going to have a showdown with Terrence Crawford. All we get is suspected and supposed fight dates. If, when, maybe on when the fight is going to happen. And basically, people are tired of this. And it's getting to the point to where people are starting to lose interest. Now, I know the Errol Spence Brigade is probably going to come for me, because, you can't say anything about Errol Spence or critique anything PBC without your so-called blackness being questioned. Because they love to play the blackness card when it comes to the PBC. But when you look at the actions of the PBC seem to be more pro-Hispanic than they are pro-black. And I could go on all day on why I feel this way. But I'm not gonna talk about that. That's a video for a later date. But I see a lot of hypocrisy in what Errol Spence tweeted. I see a lot of hypocrisy. And I think that takes nerve to sit up there and ask a question when the answer is very obvious. You guys are not giving us the fights that we want. We've said what fights we want to see, but it's always politics. You got dudes talking about, hey, I'm not going to make certain fights. I'm not going to make another promotional company great and all that kind of stuff. And then at the end of the day, they play off some of these media people that they give access to. Okay, well, you know what? Just play along with it. Just ride with me on what I'm going to say and try to justify and solidify what I'm saying. And then some of these dudes will be like, yep, Yep. And then they think that they're special because they're in what you would call personal contact with these boxers. But at the end of the day, you got guys like me that's really doing the work. And I've tried to be as objective as possible. I've called out the BS with all these promotional companies. When Top Rank was on their BS, I called them out. Same thing with Matchroom, and now it seemed to be the PBC's turn. The PBC just be on some BS, and that's it, and that's all. So don't you dare try to come here trying to talk that blackness stuff to me. Real talk. Don't even try it with me. Because at the end of the day, when I'm not doing this stuff, I'm actually out there doing my, you know what I'm saying, doing my job. My regular job, and then my job to help my community. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. And I don't have to sit up there and go on people's shows and make a whole bunch of videos about what I'm doing for my community. Because at the end of the day, if you always highly publicizing what you're doing on the scenes instead of behind the scenes, it could be, or it might come across as disingenuous. So, I'm just putting it out there, and I'm just keeping it a buck. But getting back to, Errol Spence comments, very hypocritical. Very. And I know that his, fanny boy is going to be upset hearing this video, but you just have to call the hypocrisy out. You have to. I think it takes nerve for somebody to issue a statement like that when they're doing their fair part in basically destroying the sport that people grew up loving. I'm from a different generation. I grew up loving boxing. You know what I'm saying? Of course, back then when I was growing up, and, the late 70s, the 80s, the 90s, boxing was very pivotal then. But at the end of the day, you got fighters, you got promoters, you got like everybody doing their part, hiding behind just blatant excuses. I agree with Devin Haney. Fights can be made. There's always a way to make a fight. It's not as hard as they make it out to be. So that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, it's your boy Tam Biz. I'm out.